Hi Faith Formation families, it's Miss Abdallah and this is our first week of classes. So this newsletter will do a quick verbal rundown of what the week looks like. For those of you that like to just listen to it in the car or wherever you listen to this YouTube video, for the rundown of the week, we also have it listed below. You'll see I have a new format for this year to make it a little more succinct, a little bit easier. We're hoping to not make it so overwhelming when you open up your newsletter. I'm going to do my best to keep it as simple and straightforward this year as possible. Here's the rundown for this week, okay? So this is for the week of October 16th to the 22nd. So starting this Sunday, the 16th, we have, first and foremost, our first Zoom class for grade 6 will start at 3 p.m. on Sunday, and then grade 7 at 4 p.m. Now you'll notice that they are the same Zoom link below. You just will log in at the time that you're supposed to log in. So that way I'm already on there. That way if grade 6 runs over, grade 7 when you pop up, then we'll just keep flowing. We'll flow right into grade 7 for your curriculum, okay? I don't imagine we'll go the full hour, but for our first class, you don't have to do any of the homework. You just have to be present for that Zoom, because I'm going to go over with you the homework that you will be doing. Okay, so that was one of the most common questions we answered this week. People wanted to know what homework they needed to do before the Zoom. You are the first Zoom class, so you don't have any homework due at the Zoom. We will talk about what you're going to do moving forward. After that, moving forward, then we will go over homework you've already done and then what's ahead. But because this is the first class, you won't have that homework, okay? So just to make that clear, just show up at the Zoom, have your book in front of you. If you don't yet have the book, that's okay. We'll figure that out on the Zoom and how your parents can get that book. And families, hopefully you have heard by now, you can come to the office and get those books. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute, okay? So if you're confused about book pickup, I'm going to talk about that as soon as I'm done running down the week's schedule here. All right, so grade 6 and 7, your Zoom, grade 6 is at 3, grade 7 is at 4, and then that night at 6 p.m. is the first class of our grades 6 through 12, okay? So all the grades 6 through 12 will be coming to the Sunday night Faith Formation. It starts at 6 o'clock. From 6 to 6:30 is our being led by our 10 through 12 teen leadership team that will be doing games and get to know you activities. It'll be fun, and that is for the first half hour of the night. Then from 6:30 to 7:45 is our class time, where we do the academic portion of our Faith Formation, and then from 7:45 to 8 is snack time, prayer, final announcements, and dismissal at 8 o'clock, okay? Remember, students in 6 through 12, they can just come in, they sign in, okay? They'll get a name tag from us so that we can learn everybody's names. That's our new add-on this year, but they will sign in, and the teachers will be signing them out to make sure that everybody gets where they're supposed to be, and that's to follow what the Brighton School District does as well. So they will sign in with us and out with us. Parents, you do not need to come in unless you choose to, and you are welcome to do that if you'd like to, even, whenever you need to do that, okay? So that's Sunday night, and that's that. Monday, the 17th, that is our first night of the K through 5 program. That starts at 6 o'clock for the in-person learning, starts at 6 o'clock and goes to 7:15. So for that, families, for K through 5, you do need to walk your students in, sign them in. You can walk them to their classroom on the first night. Then after that, you can just sign them in. They go to class. And then remember, we're having our gathering and our final prayer from 7 to 7:15. So you would come back at 7, do the sign out, but then join us for the final prayer and the final lesson of the night to wrap up what we learned for the night, and then dismiss at 7:15, okay? I know we talked about it at the parent meeting. Some of you might not have made the parent meeting or had a chance to watch it yet. If you haven't, all of those meetings are on the web page, and also the last newsletter that I put out last Friday. And I apologize, it looks like it went out at a different time than I scheduled it for. So I apologize if it went out Thursday night instead of Friday. We had some technical glitches, or if it went out both times, I don't know. Something happened there, I'm not sure. But I think I have it fixed, so this should be coming to you at 9 a.m. on Friday. So that's that, okay? Then Tuesday, all right, Tuesday the 18th is our first Zoom class, and the only ones doing Zoom this week are kindergarten and first grade. That's at 6 o'clock, okay? And the Zoom link for that is below as well. So look down below where it says Zoom remote learning home study, and for kindergarten and first grade, your Zoom link is right there in the assignment, okay? You do not have to do a homework assignment before that Zoom class. Because you guys are the first class, you don't have homework yet. So you will just be talking with me about the homework you're going to be doing for the next couple of weeks, okay? That's how that's gonna work. You guys are the lucky ones. First ones out don't have any homework to discuss. So it will probably be a shorter than normal class. We'll do a little get to know you stuff and a little lesson, but we're going to talk about what you're going to be learning, and then you're going to be doing assignments after that, okay? Those of you that don't have a Zoom class, you will see your assignments will be listed there, okay? So whatever grade you're in, and that's for all the grades, if your grade has a homework assignment for the home study, you're going to need to do that assignment. And for my upper grades, 6 through 12, there's going to be a little bit more because you guys cover more ground than our younger students do, because you meet twice a month and you do 2 chapters each time, okay? So you're going to have a little bit more to cover, and you can break that up any way you want, okay? And families in K through 5, you're doing like 1 a week, okay? And you guys in the upper grades, you can either do both of them all at once, or you can do 1 a week, or break it up any way you want to. So if you see an assignment 2 weeks in a row for you guys that's the same, that's why. Your assignment won't change until it's time for the next 2. You'll see that. We'll talk about it in our Zoom class. But don't worry if you see the same assignment 2 weeks in a row, my 6 through 12 folks, okay? So don't worry about that. Just do whatever I've got in there, okay? But if you do have questions, feel free to email me. But once we get in the flow, it'll all make sense, okay? We'll work out all the bugs. But all right, books. Those of you that registered after September 30th, I had put out a deadline wanting all registrations in by September 30th because we don't have those books sitting in our office. We order them as you register. So if you were late registering, I don't have those books on hand. So there's quite a few of you that came in after that deadline. So your children may or may not have a book. I may or may not have had one there for you if I didn't know you were choosing to do home study. And some of you wrote an email saying, I'm going to come by and pick up the book, and then got there and there was no book. Because if you didn't sign up for home study and just chose it, and I didn't have time to get that email, it means I didn't have time to get your book, if you even had a book that was already ordered. So just check with me, and then we'll keep going till we figure this all out. If you're switching from in-person to remote learning, those books are already in the classrooms, so it's just a matter of me going and getting them for you. But if I'm not there, nobody knew that, so that's why they weren't on the cart. The ones on the cart were the ones that were pre-registered for remote and home study. And if you got there and you were pre-registered, then maybe somebody grabbed your book, so I apologize for that. But we are trying to figure all of that out. These are all the fun growing pains of starting off. But we'll get there, and it's all good. We've got plenty of time to make things up, and so don't panic. We're okay. All right, so that's all that stuff. If you are in First Reconciliation, First Eucharist program, because remember, you have to do First Reconciliation before you do First Eucharist, right? So that's the general flow. You do the one before the other. That has to happen. Unless you've already made your First Reconciliation and for some reason just never made First Eucharist last year. Those are special cases, and if that pertains to you, then please email me. But I think the most of you are in that track to do both. So the First Reconciliation parent meeting video is going to come out the last week of October. I didn't lump it in with the parent videos because there's a lot of information that's going to come to you for First Reconciliation, and I didn't want to overwhelm you. Okay, I didn't want to throw it all at you at once. So I thought a little bit closer to our first camps. Okay, our First Reconciliation camp number 1 is November 5th. Okay, and that's it. Queen of Peace from 9 to 12, and then our First Reconciliation camp number 2, because remember it's a 2-camp program, that happens the following week on the 12th. Okay, I know there's people that have talked to me already that can't make one or the other or whatever's happening. If that pertains to you, please tell me as soon when we get up to it. Okay, tell me as we get up to it that week. So that I can make sure that you have what you need and we can figure something out for you. If you're going to miss both of them, then we really need to talk. We've got to figure out a plan for you and your family. So make sure and let me know what those conflicts are, and we can work with you and make this something that you can do. And remember, First Reconciliation is on December 3rd. Okay, it's that first Saturday. Now, people have been asking me, can you make your First Reconciliation at any church you want? The official 2 places that we have priests that will be doing First Reconciliation will be at St. Thomas More at 9 and Our Lady of Lourdes at 11. That's where I officially have people set to do that. Okay. If you are from St. Anne's or you have other reasons why you don't want to be in the larger group, maybe you still are coming out of COVID and you'd rather schedule a 1-to-1, contact me and let me know what your situation is, and I will do my best to advocate for you to have what you need. I'll talk with our pastors and see what they recommend. They prefer not to do that because remember, our priests are very limited, so we're trying to do the best we can with what priests we have and with their availability. First Eucharist will be different. First Eucharist will be at all 4 masses. They're already going to be at the masses that are being said and scheduled. So that's why First Eucharist happens at all 4 parishes. But First Reconciliation is different because I have to bring in other priests and it requires us to schedule them further out. So, okay, if you have any questions about that or have any concerns about that, email me and let me know what they are, okay, so that I can talk with you about options and things like that. All right, so that video will be coming out the last week of October, which will be here before we know it. And then also, which is next week. I don't even know why I'm saying it that way. It's next week. Message for confirmation students. Okay, if you are a year 1 confirmation student, okay, not necessarily all grade 8 are year 1, but grade 8 typically, and year 1 students, okay, if you are in your first year of confirmation, your retreat will be November 19th. Okay, that's from 10 to 3, and that's being held at Our Lady Queen of Peace, not St. Anne's. Our early schedules had posted it was going to be at St. Anne's. We have a conflict that came up in scheduling over the summer, so it has been moved to Our Lady Queen of Peace, okay? So that will be there, and at that time, at that retreat, students will receive the community service reflection forms, because year 1 students have 2 community service reflection forms that will be due in April, okay? They'll receive those at the retreat. The year 2 confirmation students, you guys, your retreat isn't until March, but your packets come out November 27th. So if you're in the Sunday night classes in the in-person formation, get them in class. If you are in Catholic school, you will be getting them mailed home after the 27th. And then they will be digitally, electronically attached to the newsletter after that point. That's so that I can go over everything with the students and make sure they understand what they need to do, okay? So that's, I had mentioned that at the parent meeting. I know not everybody got a chance to go to the parent meeting and or watch the video yet, but that is what is going to happen, okay? So the packet, the infamous packet for year 2, remember, comes out at November 27th. That's when it'll go home. in person, by mail, and then electronically after that. Okay, so don't panic about that. It's coming. Come out after the 27th when we've had a chance to talk to all the students about it and to know what to expect and what's coming. So that's that. It might feel like it's later this year because we started later this year, but we still have plenty of time. We'll get it all in. So that's that for confirmation. So I just wanted to add that little blurb to this newsletter, just to let anybody know if that pertains to anybody that's having questions about that here. Okay. And then the 29th, of course, is the trunk or treat. So trunk or treat is on Saturday, the 29th. And that is going to be a chance for all students, K through 12, anybody can come. We are encouraging our 6 through 12 students that would like to do a community service to decorate a trunk or a table if they don't have their own trunk to decorate, or a parent's trunk that they can use. We are decorating the trunks in order to teach our students that go through all about the life of Jesus. We're talking about Jesus' life, ministry, our relationship with Jesus, his relationship to us in the church. So any of those themes are what you can have as your theme for the trunk, because remember, it's catechesis as well as candy. We do have non-edible prizes for those that have students that maybe can't have candy, shouldn't have candy, have allergies, whatever the case may be. So I do have some non-edible stuff that'll be available at each trunk that is there. So this is open for everybody, and we want to make sure everybody's welcome. And it should be a good time. It's going to be at Seton in the parking lot. Also shared with Our Lady of Lourdes. We'll be over on the side of Seton. You'll see all the cars there, and that goes from 1 to 3. So anybody that wants to do a trunk, you would need to be there by 12:30, no later, so that you can be lined up and decorated in time for the beginning, okay? But email me if you're planning to do a trunk, whether it's for community service or just for fun, okay? Email me so that I know you're coming, and then I can kind of pre-plan where everybody's going to be and how to set it up, okay? So that's that. All right, I think that's all I have, and that's a lot. So I can't wait to see all of you, whether in person, on remote learning, or wherever we see you. I hope you are all having a wonderful October. It is a beautiful season. I spent last weekend at a family retreat up in the Adirondacks, which was stunning and magnificent, but I had a chance to pray for all of you and really kind of get my head in the right space to really prayerfully enter into our faith formation year. So I am praying for all of you. Please continue to pray for us as we start our program year, and I'm really, really excited. So God bless everyone. Take care, and we'll see you soon.